Hi, Mike here. You're watching Scout Restoration Yukon. In this video, I build one good pressure plate and adjust the release levers. I will show all the details. This is not a how-to video. It's a how I do video. I hope you like it. Let's get to work. If you want to help, please subscribe to Scout Restoration Yukon. It's free. Mike Morrow, over and out. Hi, Mike here. In this video, I will continue with the clutch assembly for the 152 Comanche engine. Let's get to work. This is the cracked pressure plate with the nice tight levers. This is the good pressure plate that I'm going to be using with the worn out floppy levers. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the 3 cotter pins. I've clamped the pressure plate to the bench. I'm just driving these pins out with a brass pin punch. So 1, 2. If you look in the book and if you look at the other pressure plate, these pins were going in this way. The pins are badly worn. So for the time being, I'm just going to set them out the way they were. And if you look at the holes, they're completely out of round. So if you look in here, you can see this little puck. It's like a bearing, right? And it goes between this bump and the foot of the adjusting screw, right? And then the spring holds it in there. And here's one of those little pucks here. It's like a bearing, actually. This little bit. So you see there's one there and the other one's missing, right? That's interesting. These pins are worn out, totally worn out, deeply grooved. I wonder how the holes are here. See, the holes here are okay. So I can check with the good part of the pin. So these holes in the pressure plate, they're not out of round because where the wear has happened, right? Where the wear has happened is in here, right? Like this goes in here. See, you can see the wear is right there. Here and here. It is worn, badly grooved there. I'll set this pressure plate aside. And here's my parts one. So I'm going to remove the cotter pins on this one. And note, if this was spinning this way, these pins are in this way, and that's the way it is in the book. And on the other one, the pins were going the other way, contrary to the centrifugal force. And I'm just going to take one part right now. Of course, it's tight. The tight is good. Clamp that. It's a brass hammer. It is moving. Nice and tight. Tight is good. So now that pin out, it's splined. So you can see there's a very slight wear here, but we can put that wear the other way when we reinstall this pin. So let's set that over there, and let's have a look in here. So these levers are a different style. They don't have that little bearing in them, right? So I put the pin right through 2 of them, and they're almost identical. Functionally, they should do the same job. So I'm willing to try that. So there we are. I'll take the other 2 out. Now I'm just using a sander to clean up the pressure plate a little bit. Just getting a nice, de-glazing it, getting a nice cross hatch. One more time. So that made quite a nice job, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I will do the same thing with the flywheel. Of course, I'm only concerned with this area here where the clutch runs, but you can see it's all beat up and hammered around the outer edge here. Either it was used without a cover and the rocks and things were coming in there, or at some point in its life it had a catastrophic clutch failure, and there was a cover on there, and there was all these springs and pieces of metal or something flying, going round and round and around. But it hasn't damaged in here where the clutch goes. I suspect it's more like rocks and things. So I'll just do this one more time with a new piece of sandpaper. Attention, fellow Scout enthusiasts. Thanks for watching. I hope that you're getting useful insights from my videos. If I can earn 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to create Scout videos for a long time. Please like and subscribe so that we can continue this journey for years to come. I will show all the details. Over and out. So I'm ready to install these pins. These release levers are quite tight in the hole, which is a good thing. So what I'm going to do is install them and get them lined up like that. So I'm going to put a few drops of Melling engine assembly lube on each pin before installing it. It's very sticky stuff. And I'll just put that on there. And the wear on the pin, I'm going to put out like that. See if I can tap that in there. And there's one in, and it's nice and tight and stiff. Exactly what we want. Let's do the next one. See if we can pre-align it. A little engine assembly lube on here. And the wear, I'm putting it out. The last one. A little bit of metal lube in the hole. Putting the wear to the outer side. Tapping that in. Excellent. Everything is tight. Now I just have to install the cotter pins. So I have 3 new cotter pins. 1, 2, and 3. They don't line up perfectly because I turned the pin. That's okay. You know, these cotter pins, they don't need to look pretty. They just have to do the job of holding the pin in. Now I'm ready to assemble the pressure plate. I'm going to use the threaded rods to compress it. That way I'll have a lot more control when I'm trying to line up these adjuster studs. And on this cover, I'll have to drive out some of these plugs because they're blocking where the studs will pass through the cover. This would go like that. So I don't need to drive out this plug. So the springs go 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 1. So let's try putting this on like this. We have to move our adjuster screws so they're pointing straight up. Now we try again. Looking good. Let's put my washers. 3 flat washers. 3 nuts. It's just sitting on the bench, on this piece of foam. And I'm going to start pulling it down onto the stud. So I'm just going to go 1 turn, get it down evenly. Turn. Actually, we're pulling the pressure plate up. So we have to get these screws started. I wonder if these screws will catch yet. Yes, that one started. Try to turn it down a bit more. Turn. And that one's definitely started. I think that's not starting straight. If I hold it down so it's straight, not exactly going the way I want it to. Okay, seems to work better this way. If I pull up on the lever, seem to get a straighter shot at the hole. This one doesn't look, it's not starting straight. I'm going to start all over again. Before I go too far, I'm going to run a tap through these holes just to make sure they're clean. Okay, I'm ready to try that again. Just have a good look. Make sure all the springs are where they're supposed to be. So I can run these in. So once again, one turn at a time, you compress the pressure plate assembly. Getting closer and closer. Looking good. To compress it some more. I think I got them all started. Isn't that wonderful? So I've got the 3 adjusters started, protruding one full nut through here. So I've got the pressure plate on the flywheel, no clutch disc, and I've got a 3/8 flat bar between the pressure plate and the flywheel surface. One here, one here, one here. 3 of them. And inside I have these 2 little flat bars that equal the flywheel surface level. 1.9375. So this simulates the flywheel surface, and I've adjusted this one to that height. So now I'm just going to move my little block over here, right? And it's the same thing. I have to adjust this one to that height. And then adjust this one. So now you can see I'm screwing the adjusting screw up until I get to the specification. Right there for that one is to do the same thing with all 3. So that's the first adjustment. So I'm just going to put the lug nuts on, but I won't tighten them. Just run them in, run them down. Just holding the screw and running these nuts down close. There. Now I will take this pressure plate off the flywheel and then put it back on again with the clutch. Take this off, and you can see underneath I had these up. That simulates, that's the same thickness as the clutch, 3/8 of an inch. And under here I have these 2 flat bars, which is the same as, slightly more, but it's pretty well the same as flywheel height. I could maybe sand this one down a bit, get a better fit. And I'm going to have to grind this one down a bit so I get a better fit on my second adjustment. So now I want to test this. So I'm going to install the clutch disc again, center it approximately for now. The 3/8 flat bar I've been using, it's the exact same thickness as the clutch. I'm just going to tighten down the pressure plate. Run these in and then tighten them in increments like I do every time. Okay, so that's tightened down. So I'm just going to release this clutch with a bottle jack and see when the disc comes free. So the bottle jack here. Okay, now I'm just pushing on the disc, down. The disc has released. The disc is free, right? Let that up again. So how much does that have to move? So the disc is tight. Clutch, still tight. There it's released. Let's just go further, and we'll come back up again. So that works. The clutch is releasing. One of the reasons I did that is now I want to go back over there and take the disc out, put the blocks in, measure again, see if it changed, see if my adjustment changed, reset, and it will be slightly different because I've fixed up my block a bit. So I'm removing the pressure plate again. Okay, removing the clutch disc, putting 3/8 flat bars to simulate the clutch disc, putting the pressure plate back on, make sure it's lined up and sitting on these flat bars. Where does that one go? Oh, it's way over here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 flat bars. Get it lined up. First of all, wait a minute. For that, I have to show, I ground that down a bit. So that's my shim. You see? It's exactly the same height because that's what I'm supposed to be measuring to. Flywheel surface to the lever. There. Now I can put this pressure plate back on there. Put the bolts in. Run the bolts down. Just tighten it right down in increments. Note that the release levers are level. That's the way they should be. Now, once again, we've got 1.9375. Yeah, the lever's a little high, which was what I suspected. So I just got to crack this nut here. Just have to screw that down. There. Screw it down till it touches, and then I screw it up right there. Okay, so that one is pretty good. Just going to slug it a little bit. This one here, same thing. Just a little high. Just screw it down till it touches. There. Screw it down till it touches. There, and then lift it. Just so it lifts off. It's not touching anymore. Tighten that one a little bit. And then the last one, move my block in here, like so. It's almost good. Just so it lifts it. Right there. Yeah. Perfect. So this pressure plate is set up. So I'll do a final tightening, the box end wrench on these adjusters. There. 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 Just check the last one. Tight. So they're all tight. Take this back off of here. So this pressure plate is adjusted and ready to go. And I upgraded it to the 9-spring setup. Changed the pins, changed the levers, released levers. It's good. Excellent. Ready to roll. In conclusion, I'm very happy with this clutch and pressure plate. I think it's going to work very well and last a long time. My next video will be clutch fork restoration with a bonus release bearing modification. I will show all the details. I hope you like it. If you want to help, please subscribe to Scout Restoration Yukon. It's free. Mike Morrow, over and out.